Welcome back to the Vancouver Canucks 2025 playoff push. We've got 3 more games to talk about, starting with Game 66 against the Chicago Blackhawks. Artur Silovs was in net for Vancouver, and here he is foiling a Chicago scoring chance, stopping a shot by former Canuck Ilya Mikheyev. Quinn Hughes broke Nick Foligno's ankles. Victor Mancini was called for high sticking, but thanks to some stellar penalty killing from Tyler Myers, Chicago wasn't able to capitalize on the power play. Then, after a ridiculous amount of sustained pressure from Vancouver, Hughes got the puck at the blue line, walked in, and lasered one past Blackhawks goaltender Arvid Soderblom. 1-0 Canucks. And then just 30 seconds later, in a blatant display of plagiarism, Tyler Myers lasered one past Soderblom as well. I mean, if you're gonna copy off anyone's work, it might as well be the work of Quinn Hughes. 2-0 Vancouver. But believe it or not, the headline of this first period wasn't the 2 identical goals scored 30 seconds apart by Canucks defensemen. Something far more significant happened. Something I've been waiting and wishing for since I was a kid. Something I wasn't even sure was possible. See, the NHL has very strict rules for when a game's broadcast can cut to commercial. Each period is allowed 3 ad breaks. 1 at the first stoppage in play after the 14-minute mark, 1 at the first stoppage in play after the 10-minute mark, and 1 at the first stoppage in play after the 6-minute mark. However, they can't cut to commercial after icings, after goals, or during power plays. For years, I've always imagined what sequence of events would need to occur in order for a broadcast to not be able to cut to any commercials for an entire period. Well, take a look at this. The first stoppage after the 14-minute mark of this game came at 6:53. That's 7 full minutes of whistleless hockey, but it was an icing, so no commercial. Then the play didn't stop again until 2:14. But it was a goal, so no commercial. Then again at 1:39, but it was another goal, so no commercial. But then Filip Chytil threw the puck on net and Soderblom covered it for a whistle, and I couldn't believe it. We were so close. But as I clenched my cheeks waiting for some car company to tell me how I should be living my life, the game just continued. It turns out there's another rule I wasn't even aware of. Apparently, they can't cut to commercial if it's in the final minute of a period. And that last stoppage came with just 27.8 seconds to go. So, no commercial. And for the first time in my 20-year-long hockey watching career, it finally happened. A sequence of events so random yet so perfect led to my first and possibly last commercial breakless period of regulation time NHL hockey. This is a high I'll be chasing for the rest of my life. Anyway, 4 minutes into the second, Connor Bedard got called for hooking, giving his favorite team a power play that they weren't able to capitalize on, but I don't care, because 2 minutes later, Pius Suter and Connor Garland teamed up to score a beauty. Look at this pass retrieval by Garland. The puck never stopped rolling, but he was still able to corral it, bring it to his backhand, and roof it over Soderblom. Classic Gargoyle. 3-0 Whale team. Then, the fillings of my burrito splattered on my TV screen when I saw Marcus MP3 Pettersson fall awkwardly into the boards. He was fine though, so false alarm I guess. The broadcast cut to a shot of the fans, and I couldn't help but wonder if one of these people might be one of you guys. Is this you? Is this you? This is so you. Come on, I know this is you. Chicago scored. 3-1. Then check this out. Nils Höglander rushed in on the forecheck, stripped the puck off Blackhawks defender Alex Vlasic, and spotted a wide-open Elias Pettersson right in the middle of the ice. But just as he went to pass it, Ryan Donato reached out, got his stick in the way, and deflected the now rolling puck into the air and off course. And yet, despite this, all in one motion, Elias never left Pettersson was able to bat the puck down, deke around a defender, and snipe one past the goalie. Except it hit the post. Oh, okay. Thankfully, the rebound was picked up and sniped home seconds later by our boy Big. Wait. That wicked wrister from Petey didn't hit the post. It went in the net. So we do have a new EP40 goal to add to the highlight reel. Nice! No goal for Big Hog though. 4-1 Canucks. Tyler Myers got called for high sticking, a penalty that coach Rick Tocchet did not agree with.
Oh my fucking god.
But it didn't even matter because just 5 seconds into Chicago's man advantage, Bedard was called for hooking, taking his team off the power play. Another tough outing for the 19-year-old in his hometown. The Blackhawks scored. 4-2. Connor Garland and Connor Murphy battled over how many N should be in the name Connor. KIEFER Sherwood hit rookie defenseman Artem Levshinov and then got one of the nicest assists I've seen in quite a while. It was Nils Höglander on the other end of this gorgeous pass, scoring his first goal of the season to put the Canucks up 5-2.
A few moments later.
Suter scores! 2 goals in 8 seconds.
I mean, 6-2? What a magical game. We saw 2 goals scored 30 seconds apart in near identical fashion, a commercial-free non-playoff overtime period of hockey, a highlight reel goal from Elias Pettersson, a highlight reel assist by KIEFER Sherwood, 2 goals scored 8 seconds apart. What could possibly ruin my mood right now? Former Canuck Jason Dickinson blindsiding Filip Chytil with a hit from behind, sending his face and head into the boards, not only knocking him out for the rest of this game, but leaving him with a concussion? Yeah, that ruined it for me.
It's from behind. It's from behind.
Dickinson didn't play another shift in this one, and the irrational hockey fan in me wants to say that's because he was a scared little baby, but really it was probably actually, f it, he was a scared little baby. And without Dickinson on the ice to answer the bell, of course, the Canucks went after Connor Bedard. And he was confused.
Why are you mad? Why are you mad at me? I didn't do shit.
This guy knew it was time to head out. Here's what Sherwood said about the hit after the game.
That was a dirty hit, unnecessary 6-2, and then he doesn't have the whatever to step on the ice afterwards. We had Forby asked him, and it is what it is. We'll get him next year.
Anyway, the Canucks blew out the Blackhawks 6-2 and moved back into a playoff position. Now, on to Game 67 against the Utah Hockey Club, a very important tilt between 2 teams in the same division battling for that final wildcard spot. Kevin Lank the Tank Lankinen was back in net, and as usual, he was stopping pucks. Big Hog blocked a shot and looked to be in a considerable amount of pain, but he was fine.
No, I'm good.
Tyler Myers took a delay of game penalty, but the Canucks killed it off, and Utah got grumpy about it. By the way, since the JT Miller trade, the Canucks have had the best penalty kill in the entire league. That's something to be proud of. And then, rubbing a little salt in the wounds of Utah's special teams, when the Canucks got their first power play early in the second period, they scored. It was Captain Quinn Hughes blasting home his 16th of the season to put Vancouver up 1-0. Derek Forbort blocked a shot, Connor Garland blocked a shot, Nils Höglander crushed Quinn Hughes. Okay. Utah scored 1-1 heading into the third period. Look, this wasn't just an important game for Vancouver. Utah really wanted to win this, and it didn't help that the Canucks were on the second half of a back-to-back. It was their 4th game in 6 nights. But still, they had 6 minutes of power play time in the third period alone, and they still lost. Hughes was pissed, and I get it. They keep following up a step forward with a step backward. And with Filip Chytil's health now in question, this one kind of feels like 2 steps back. The Canucks have worked themselves into quite the pickle this season, and it's going to take a real team effort to get out of it. It might get messy, but I trust they're going to pull it off. Now, on to Game 68 against the best team in the Western Conference, the Winnipeg Jets. Unfortunately, Connor Garland wasn't available to play in this game. He's dealing with some kind of injury. Let's just hope it's not something that keeps him out too long. His absence allowed for Linus Karlsson to draw back into the lineup for the first time in 15 games, and he looked pretty good out there. Now, you guys are going to have to get used to me saying that this game is the biggest game of the year for the Canucks, because for the remainder of the season, or at least until they clinch the playoffs, that's going to be how it is. So yeah, this was the biggest game of the Canucks season so far, and they were up against a juggernaut. Winnipeg's been one of the top 5 teams in the league all year. This wasn't going to be easy.
A few moments later.
Across, they score!
Oh, okay. Nice. 1-0 Canucks. Kevin Lankinen was back in net for the Canucks, and boy was he making some nice saves in the first period. Thank you, Lankinen. Jonathan Lekramaki was back in the lineup, and here he is stealing the puck away from Connor Hellebuyck and almost scoring his 3rd NHL goal, but Hellebuyck did an amazing job to recover. Look at that save. The Jets scored. Tie game. But then, Brock the Brockstar Boeser drew a penalty and scored his first goal in 13 games on the ensuing power play to put the Canucks back up by 1. 2-1 Vancouver. And then, in the final 10 seconds of the first period, Brock Boeser and Elias Pettersson used some of the leftover Sedin magic still floating around Rogers Arena to set up a beautiful goal for Nils. Big Hog. Blue and green have the lead, but still press. Up 1 in the first 6 seconds left. Big Brock with the puck in the Jets end. Best with possession, sends a pass to Pettersson. Petey has the puck, Petey's got the biscuit, but he doesn't shoot, Petey's got a vision. He takes advantage of the D-stick position. Threads a pass back to Boeser with precision. Brock with the puck, the face-off dot. Big hogs open in the slot. How we got there, nobody knows. Who cares though, it's a 2-on-0. Now it's up to Helipop. Can he stop the boy Big Hog? No, he can't, cause he's a fraud. Ha 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 ha. Big Hog. Vancouver. The Canucks were playing so well in this game, they were making the Jets look like an AHL team, and the Jets were getting frustrated. By the way, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the channel, but I have an X account or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, and you should follow me because I tweet stuff like this, and even this. So yeah, follow me. Anyway, PD blocked a shot, Lankinen made some more nice saves, the Jets scored. 3-2 Canucks. Then check out this forecheck by Höglander. He beats 3 Jets to the puck, gets pinned along the boards by 2 of them, wins that puck battle, freeing it up for Boeser to send to the point where Marcus MP3 Pettersson was waiting. MP3 then shoots it on net and Boeser bashes home the rebound for his second goal of the game, and just like that, the Nucks were back up by 2. Utterly gorgeous.
A few moments later.
They got another one.
Oh right, Pius Suter scored 45 seconds later to make it 5-2 for the Canucks. Nice! Yeah, so 5-2 for Vancouver, and I'll just tell you right now, 2 goals is all Winnipeg could get in this game, and it wasn't just because Lank the Tank was in a puck-stopping groove. The Canucks killed off 2 Jets power plays, including 17 seconds of a 5-on-3. In fact, the best scoring chance that came from those power plays wasn't even for Winnipeg. It was a KIEFER SHERWOOD breakaway that came with just 4 seconds left in the second period. And in the third, Vancouver didn't back down. They were still pressing hard and earning the majority of scoring chances. And when the Jets did come close to putting another one on the board, the Canucks just wouldn't let them. It was truly beautiful. And it all ended with Pius Suter reaching 20 goals for the first time in his career thanks to a long-range empty netter that he hit with just 2 seconds left in the game. The Canucks beat the Jets 6-2 and are still in a playoff position. Good job to these weirdos for predicting the scores correctly. If you want a chance to be shouted out in my next video, comment your score prediction for tomorrow's game against the St. Louis Blues. Thanks to these wonderful knuckheads for supporting what I do by clicking the join button and becoming channel members. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hey, Brian, it's me, Knuckhead. Keep watching my videos. Yeah, you, Brian, right there. Yeah, if you think, oh, he's not talking to me, I'm talking to you, Brian. Keep watching them. There's 2 that just popped up on the screen. Click one of them. Don't stop. Thanks, Brian.